Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the next episode of Thrive Talk. And today we are chatting about, in order to be, you have to see. Hello, Gerard.
Yes.
Welcome to this episode.
Yeah, can you see what we've accomplished already?
Yes. Yeah, so in order for you to accomplish something, you have to have a clear vision of where you're going. That's basically what we're talking about today.
Exactly, and yeah, there are many examples in life around that, but I think it's a often overlooked thing as well, that people they don't grasp the power of this concept. Therefore, they don't bother to implement or clean it up in their own lives, and they're missing out big time on that. It's that whole thing of, if you don't know where you're heading, then any road will do.
Yes.
So you keep on drifting and so on, and you can spend a year, you can spend 5 years. Some people are spending a lifetime drifting around because he doesn't have clarity as to where he's going, and he just pop up wherever.
Exactly, and it's definitely that thing of that vision, that goal that you've set for yourself, that you have to have clarity on, because if you don't have that, you can't move forward. Then you're always living in the now and in the past, and you can't focus on the future and using the correct path to get there.
Yes, it is. If you're talking about living in the past, and you can't change anything in the past, you're living in the present, but how do you deploy the present? For what purpose? In which direction? So in other words, if you don't have direction, it is that thing of a confused mind takes no action. So in other words, you're milling around, you're not fully engaged, you don't aggressively deploy yourself.
Absolutely.
And to the extent that it happens today, it will happen for the rest of the week and the rest of the month, and before you know, it is your lifestyle. And as you live today, so of course, so you live your life.
Yes, and nothing happens. You don't move forward, you don't achieve any of your goals, you miss them always, and then you get depressed, and we see people living like that every single day, and that's why they so caught up in their current life and their current situation. They can't break out of that situation because they're living like that.
It actually picks up on one of the previous discussions we had as well, that everything counts. So to the extent that you don't have anything in particular to pursue,
yes,
to that extent you don't deploy yourself, and all of those failures to deploy yourself adds up to give you an empty life. And a couple of years, I had a very profound example of that. It's actually when the penny dropped for me, and I came to the realization of the fundamental principles involved, and also the power of that was in an area where I used to drive past there every day. There was this big vacant lot, beautiful piece of real estate, very well situated as well. But for years I would be driving past there, and there was like the remnants of a nursery there with a smokestack and that, so not much going on there. But because of the prime location, I thought something needs to happen here. So I don't know the story behind the development, but typically it belongs to somebody. And to the extent that that guy doesn't have the resources to fully develop it, maybe that vacant land will just sit there for generations to come. And then one morning, when I drove past there was a massive billboard up there, clearly stating that we are about to erect a massive shopping mall from that corner, which is a brilliant concept. Now that's millions that needs to go into that, and I can just imagine, and this is what was my thought pattern at that stage. If I had that piece of real estate, I wouldn't have had the resources to develop that. How do you overcome that obstacle? Because you want to get it out, but you don't have the resources. Now you're trapped, so now it doesn't happen. And from the point that that billboard went up there, it wasn't a year, and there was a massive shopping mall, a thriving business there. So what has happened there, if you look at the principles, and this is what we are talking about, is the moment the billboard went up, it communicated a very clear and a specific vision
Yes.
of what needs to take place there. And the moment when the vision was out in the clear,
Yes.
the resources pulled in and made it possible. 9 months later, the shopping mall was up and running and thriving. And that principle is happening in each and every one of our lives as well, to a bigger or a smaller extent. People might have ideas, they have wishes. Now a wish is nothing.
Yeah.
A wish, you need to go and pin down, you need to define it, get clarity.
Put the billboard up.
Put the billboard up. Because the moment you put the billboard up, number one, you need to clearly and accurately define what it is that you envisage, but now it's up in the public domain as well.
Yes.
So now other people can see it,
Yeah.
and then two things happen. Number one, resources are being released from areas where you yourself didn't even anticipate they would come from.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of resources out there to enable you to accomplish your dreams and your visions.
Yeah.
But they won't be released if you are holding your vision a secret.
Yeah.
So the moment your vision is out in the public domain, the resources can
And
be released.
How many times in the past have you heard about people saying, if they see something happening or they see that a device came on the market, yeah, but I had that idea years ago, but he kept it to himself.
Yes. And it's almost as if that is a roadblock. A stumbling block in most people's mind is that they've got this idea, but then they link their ability to do that, to accomplish that, with their own ability to provide the resources, which is a fundamental flaw.
Yeah.
And that's why those things are never out in the public domain, because you first want to see how he himself can now provide the resources in order to accomplish it. And major accomplishments doesn't work like that. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki talks about this whole concept. He calls it opium. You must work on opium. Other people's money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources, there's a lot of capital out there for people that has the ability to accumulate wealth and finances. But their personality types is probably that they're not necessarily visionaries. So they are waiting for visionaries to come and put billboards up.
Yeah.
And the moment they see a billboard up in something that intrigues him, he will release the resources.
Yeah.
But now those guys with the visions, they don't have the resources, so they keep the vision to themselves because they don't know how they can accomplish it.
Yeah.
So the resources never match the vision because of that. So get it out there. So
Absolutely, and I think that's also Thrive International is also a real life example of this vision. And our CEO and founder James Francis 2.5 years ago had this clear vision of what he wanted to create with Thrive International, and certain things had to happen along the way, but the vision was clear. The vision was clear that this would be an e-commerce company with an e-commerce platform and the dimensions around that. And that's actually now come to reality.
yes,
Because we've got the Thrive Marketplace up and running, and that's all because he had this clear vision of where he wanted to be. And along the way, there was like little directions in other directions, but because the vision was clear, he could always pull himself back to the ultimate goal of opening up this e-commerce platform. And I think that's what people need to get and need to understand. And I mean, you know as well as I do that as soon as you've got that clear vision, and now other people, so we're members of Thrive International. Now we buy into that vision, right? And we can now use that vision of that vehicle Thrive, the vehicle Thrive, to accomplish our goals and visions.
exactly. It is a couple of powerful principles are being released the moment the vision is out there. Once the billboard goes up, resources can be released. It's almost acting like a benchmark. So to the extent that people are confused and don't know what to do and where to go, the moment the vision goes out, the benchmark is out there. Now you can go and measure your direction, you can go and measure your activities, you can go and measure your resources you want to release, everything you can go and measure against that. So all of a sudden confusion is now replaced with clarity. And once you got clarity, things are happening.
Absolutely, and that also leads to new things, new opportunities, new clear strategies that you can start implementing and move towards your ultimate vision and your ultimate goal. And,
Yes.
and that's what we're trying to bring across, that you have to go and sit down, whichever vehicle you're using, you have to get the clear vision of what that opportunity or that business is all about, and then use that vision to get clarity on your own vision and where you want to be, and whether this vehicle is the vehicle to be able to get you there. And that's a powerful thing.
Yes. Because a lot of people, they got a vague idea of where they want to be heading. I want to make money. That says nothing. You're still confused.
Yeah.
How much? By when? And by which means?
Yes.
So the moment you can define that, your confusion is cleared up and you got clarity. And rightly, as you have said, for a lot of people, the moment they got clarity in their own lives about their own vision, about their own goals they want to aspire towards, and they want to accomplish that, it comes back to that very first statement. In other words, in order to live up to that, you will have to see. So in other words, you need to get clarity, you need to get your vision sorted out. And what Thrive is doing, they had that clarity on the vision of who and what they are and where they're heading. And to the extent that we had one or two hiccups in terms of things that we want to test, they didn't work, we didn't fail in our vision. The vision was still clear. The vision is still out there, and we're still pursuing the vision.
Yes.
It was just a strategy that we have tested that say, okay, this is not going to work, but the vision is still clear.
Yes.
So we just apply a different strategy, but we're still pursuing the same vision. And to that extent as well, individuals, members can come on board and say, but listen, this vehicle is moving in the direction. It is an enabler for me.
Yes.
Either for my business or for my personal goals.
Yeah.
In terms of take it as a business opportunity to make money. You can specify the amount, you can specify the activities that you're going to put in, and this vehicle will take you forward.
Absolutely.
And for your business as well. If you want to bring your business on here, this is a brilliant enabler for you to bring in as one of your strategies to move your business forward. So even in that sense, in order to be, you will have to see. So buy into the vision. Because to the extent that you have got clarity about what Thrive is and where we're heading, to that extent you will be able to collaborate, support the vision, but also benefit from the momentum that we as an organization is gaining. To the extent that you fail to understand the vision, to the extent that you fail to have clarity about the vision, to that extent you will be confused, and a confused mind take no action. So we will be able to see that those members that are accomplishing results, you can go and test them. They will have clarity about the vision.
Yeah.
Those members that are failed to producing anything, they fail to accomplish any results, go and test them on their vision, and you will see they are confused.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
As simple as that. So thank you for joining us again today. We'll see you in the next episode, and go and get a clear vision of where you want to be. See you in the next episode.
Thank you.